Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny, and you may think, where in the world are you? Well, we are here on a landscape job today, and this project is absolutely spectacular and so much fun that I just had to bring you along on the journey to show you what we are creating for these homeowners. Now, go ahead and set this up just a little bit. It's cold, it's windy, so hence why I am bundled up in all of my clothes, and if the mic goes funny, that's just what, we're gonna go with it, right? So we are here on location at some customer's house. They have been longtime customers of ours, huge supporters of Creekside Nursery from the very, very beginning. In fact, old friends with my parents, so we have a long history with one another. They are both master gardeners, have an absolutely exquisite garden in the back of their house, and just beautiful, great folks who needed a little bit of help. So what is going on is that they have their 200-foot long driveway here that they used to have it lined with Bradford pears on both sides of the driveway, and they asked us to come and landscape both sides of the driveway with flower beds. And basically they said, we want it to look pretty, we love what you do, we like to have conifers in here if we could, but just go for it, have fun, no irrigation. Of course they wanted some things that were a little bit of a bigger size. I'm trying to think. So we have trees, perennials, and shrubs in here, no annuals. If they want to go back and add some, they certainly can, but these beds are going to be gorgeous just the way they are. So let me just give you a little bit more of a perspective of what is going on here. So here we are looking straight down their driveway. I am standing on the side of the street. We are going to be creating two entrance beds. One is going to be right here, and then of course we're going to have one right there where you can go ahead and see the Carolina Sapphire. It is right there. And then throughout the whole length, the 200-foot length of this driveway, we're going to have beds. On the left side, there are 3 large beds, and on the right side, there are 2. We do have, at the homeowner's request, certain points throughout the beds where we have kind of an access, because they have this nice big open field back there that they use for parking when they have parties and events and are hosting things. So every so often you will see that there's a 10-foot break in the beds so that they can have access to it. So there's one right here, and then when you come across the driveway where you can see where the bobcat is, then there is another. The beds are gonna, on average, are about 20 feet deep, and we have a relatively small handful of the varieties that we are using, but we're repeating those varieties all throughout the flower beds. So let's just come over here and let me show you what we have. A lot of these you are going to be very familiar with. Right here, of course, we have the Pugster Blue butterfly bushes. Fantastic ones. Jerry is taking the proven winners, Jazz Hands Bold, and it's called Bold because, as you can see, they have such huge, massive leaves on them. They're very bold. So I'll let him take those. Jazz Hands Bold. I'll try to put the information up about these, but like I said, most of these you're very familiar with. Then back here in the back, we have the Shishi Gashira camellia that is going to go in 3 different places. We have some azaleas. This is the Encore azaleas. This is Autumn Bonfire. Beautiful, deep red. And even we joked with the homeowners, they are huge Carolina fans. And here we go, designing flower beds that have a lot of red in it. So I was like, oh, I hope you're okay, which they were. Then tons of Holy Grail, Summerific Holy Grail perennial hibiscus. They are going in. We have got Desert Plains, grass, and Also, there's a lot of these plants are already in the beds. If you're like, well, that's not very many, trust me, there's a bunch already in the beds. Then the Let's Dance Arriba hydrangea, super excited about that. And even though we've had multiple nights, like last night was 27, this is really holding onto its foliage really nicely and even turning some, nice fall colors. So the Ariba is new. We're excited about that one. Then we have the perennial. This is the Lesser Catmint from Walter's Gardens. I really don't like this name because it is an amazing plant. It does beautiful white flowers. It is a massive pollinator attractor. There's one that still has some blooms on it. Let me show you. Very light and airy, just gorgeous. This thing is a workhorse in the garden, so we're going to have that. We have a Japanese maple. This is a Crimson Queen. So she is going in along with the Hortsman Dwarf Blue Atlas Cedar. The homeowner does love some good conifers, so there we go. So he is going to go in there. We have got the Sweet Talker Viburnum from Proven Winners. This is relatively new on the market. Look at that fall foliage. Gorgeous. This thing is an evergreen. It is beautiful. It will get some nice height to it. In fact, somebody's a little confused right now because look what I spy. This is supposed to be an early spring bloomer. Can you see that though? It's got a couple of little flowers on there. So Sweet Talker. Then these are, I think, little limes. We have a good number of hydrangeas going in here. Yes. So we've got little limes are in the landscape. And then, of course, the First Night perennial grass. Gorgeous, beautiful, huge, is going to make a massive statement. All right, let's go look at the actual beds. Okay, so the entrance beds are basically being planted in the same style. And I know the tree is leaning. It is not fully planted. It's just been plopped in the hole. So y'all can just hold your horses and don't even start typing about the tree being crooked. We know. But in this bed, we have the Carolina Sapphires, which are just gorgeous evergreen blue-green trees that just do fantastic here. Gonna get some nice height. In the bed, we will have around here in the front will be filled with little limes. Then we will also have Holy Grails kind of dotted more through the back. And then in the very back in the circular pattern, we will have the First Night grasses. So big impact, really pretty. Okay, so coming off of the entrance beds, we're going to spin around here a little bit. You can see there's the access to the driveway, from the driveway to the yard. We're going to start on this side. So you can see that there are 3 autumn flame maple trees planted. So basically they're the ones with the sticks. They've already lost their leaves. So we've got 3 autumn flames in there. Then it might be kind of hard for you to see, but in the very back, from here all the way around, is Firelight hydrangeas. They're going to form this massive, huge hedge of blooms. They are planted relatively close together so that they can make a gorgeous hedge once they are full grown. So that is also mimicked on the other side of the driveway in the bed that's comparable to this. We also have a Firelight hedge there. Then we've got throughout here, these are the loropetalums. We've got a shishi. Also in the plan, they had already planted them, so I didn't get to show them to you. These are the Fire Chief arborvitaes. These are fun little guys. They are an arborvitae, hence why they're already starting to take on some of the copper burgundy foliage on the top. It is not dead. I tell people, if you were to take your hand and you're not going to have any foliage come off, it's not dead. It's just a color. Once the warm temperatures of spring come, they turn bright green again. So these are really fun. Obviously an evergreen in there. More shishis, more loropetalums. It just kind of repeats. So we're using those same plants periodically repeated throughout the whole entire landscape plan. And then we have pockets of the desert plains grass. We are going to use the firelight grasses when we find kind of a little hole that we need to fill in or get some height, then we will put those in the landscape as well. Now, coming down here is really fun because, I don't know if you can see, but there are three different Holy Grails. So it's hard for me to see, but there is 1, 2, and 3. Those Holy Grails are going to be absolutely gorgeous and stunning with their dark foliage, bright red blooms for a huge part of the growing season. And then, of course, we have another pocket of the desert plains grass, another little drive access point. And you can see that the beds are not completely made right now. This is still in the construction process. You can see where the paint is though. And then once they're done planting, they'll bring that soil up to the edge. We did bring in soil because the homeowner's native soil is really sandy and rocky and lacking a lot of nutrition. And so we did bring in a great garden blend topsoil out of South Carolina. And it's really, really, really nice. It's got a lot of bark in there. It's got the compost already in there. It is just really nice stuff. So we're excited to use that. And of course, as Jerry is using the bobcat and the auger, the native soil will get mixed in with this. Obviously, we're not going to leave this in mounds. We're going to spread it all out. But just kind of showing you the general layout right here. More fire chiefs in this second bed. Then we have the Encore azaleas, the Holy Grail in the back. And then on this one, we're doing a whole hedge of the Sweet Talker viburnums, giving them some height, giving them a little bit of privacy because they have been used to, for so long, having big trees along their whole driveway, and now they just are out and exposed. So we're kind of going to bring back a little privacy. Now, on this side of the bed, driveway, is a mirror bed that goes with the one I just showed you. So what we have here, instead of the red maples, the autumn flames, we're going to have some Kwanzan cherry trees. We had talked about using some little gem magnolias, but the homeowners already have little gems in the other part of their yard. And so they wanted to do something a little different, something spring flowering. So we got these really nice size Kwanzan cherry trees, going to give them lots of gorgeous color in the springtime. You can see they're laying this bed out now, that the Sweet Talkers are going to be in the back, giving you a different perspective on this flower bed. So that is the Kwanzan cherry tree. And then moving back down towards the road, so we're going to let them finish placing this bed out before we kind of do a tour of that bed. But here we go. We have got the only really obstacle in this landscape is this light pole, power pole that we have to work around. They have power coming off in 3 different directions from this. But other than that, it's not too pesky. There is some cable lines running through here. So if you see the bright orange paint, that is just buried cable lines. We put 3 more of the Carolina Sapphires in here because the homeowners did not want to have to look at the beautiful power pole from their house. So hopefully very quickly these 3 Carolina Sapphires will grow nice and full and just break it up. We know we're not going to completely hide this power pole. That's not the point, but it is just to give them a little bit of a break so it's not so noticeable and stands out so much. Now, you can see that there is the green phone and cable utility pole that we're going to be working around. Jerry has not put any garden blend soil on top of that because he wants to clearly see where his lines are, and then the bed will actually extend out to this white line right here. So we're going to incorporate that into the bed, but for now we're going to leave it kind of exposed just so they can always be aware of where those lines are. Carolina Sapphire, again, a beautiful section of the Desert Plains grass. We have those. Again, we've got the Holy Grail here. We've got 3 Holy Grails. We've got 1, 2, and then 3 loropetalums there towards the back. More of the beautiful fire chiefs, but look at that, the fire chiefs in front of that Carolina Sapphire. Oh, just so pretty. And even the loropetalums between the Carolina Sapphires, that dark burgundy foliage against the blue-green of the tree, super nice. These loropetalums, I think, will get like 4 to 5 feet tall, so that'll really kind of fill in this space. And then now on this side of the Carolina Sapphire, starting about right here, and then again running the length behind the bed, is the hedge of firelight hydrangeas. I just cannot wait to see these babies in bloom. It's going to be stunning. Shishi camellias dotted through here, more of the grasses, one more camellia right here, and then the fire chiefs going through. And then as a welcome sign to the flower beds are another grouping. This is 3 camellias right here, and I want to say 1 is blooming, so let's see. Yep, we've got a little bloom on there. So Shishi is a beautiful pink with a yellow center, really nice, relatively small for a camellia, but oh, so pretty. We were going for 4 seasons of interest with these flower beds. Okay, I want to take you through the project one last time and to show you everything as it looks right now, because we've pretty much got the plants all in their final placement, and the girls have already started planting some of the 1 gallon perennials. So we're just going to walk back through one last time and show you what's going on. I just brought Jerry some lunch. It's, I don't know.
Ooh, goes the plan.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, Jerry's losing the landscape plan. So I brought him some lunch, so his tummy is nice and full now, and we don't have a hangry Jerry to deal with. So that's it.
Get some things done.
Yeah. So do you want to say anything? I mean, talk about anything?
Maybe in a minute. Yeah.
He wants to think about it first. All right, so let's go check it out. Amy, the homeowner, is, and well, Ron and Amy, they both are very talented potters. And so behind me, you can see their art studio. They make gorgeous, functional, fun, whimsical pottery, and that is their studio behind us. And so this is the bed right here that will be closest to the studio. We basically kind of started at the road with the highest of the plantings, and then coming as we came to the studio into the house, we really kind of shrunk the plants down a little bit. So in here are the azaleas. You can see the azaleas, those red azaleas. Then we have this beautiful pocket, this mass planting all in through here. Might be kind of hard to see. This whole mass planting sweeps around that lesser catmint. So just imagine this really airy, light, fluffy, full of white blooms, full of honeybees and bumblebees and pollinators. Then we have the blue pugsters. Back here, there's 3 of the pugsters, and then this is where the Hortsman goes as well. But again, look at that. Is that just not the sweetest thing you've ever seen? And this is just a little tiny glimpse into the gardens that they have created. I love how they were very intentional with their river rock, their dry creek bed. So incredibly pretty. So on the other side of this bed, panning around here for you, we're going to have an opening here for them to drive through and to have parking. So there'll be a 2-car parking space here with access to the yard. We'll put decorative gravel in that. But again, we're repeating those same. The Pugster Blues are all through here. There's actually 2 different sets of them. So we're repeating that. We've got the Japanese maple, the Crimson Queen is here with that hedge of the Sweet Talker Viburnum back there. is just such a whole beautiful bed. We are loving how this is all coming together. And then we did go ahead and repeat right here, kind of down where Heather is. This woman's fearless, going at it with that shovel. That is where she is planting some more of the catmint. Just looks spectacular. So just imagine looking down your driveway and seeing this landscape. So pretty. All right, friends, so I am going to wrap things up here today as Jerry and the ladies finish up for today. How much longer do you think?
What time is it? I don't even know.
I don't even know what time it is, but as far as like, you're going to be here all day tomorrow, finishing the planting and starting the mulch?
Yeah, we'll get most of the mulch out tomorrow. I think we'll get it all out tomorrow.
I think we'll get it all out tomorrow.
Yeah, and then we got this, where we're standing right now, it's a little parking area we're going to make for them, so.
Yep, I just told them about that.
Yeah, we need to get the gravel for that.
Very good, yeah. So I do know that we are working on just a little bit of a timeline because they are going to have a pottery show the beginning of December. So of course they want to have this whole project wrapped up before then, to be kind of the grand reveal to everybody with the whole project being done. But this has been a really fun project.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yep. All right, folks, so we do want to come back here. I don't know if we'll come back this season because, I mean, we're going into winter, and of course, a lot of these plants are going to be dormant, but we want to come back later on, hopefully next year, when things are budding out, and to do a little bit of a follow-up so y'all can see how things are progressing. And Ron and Amy, of course, are very generous to allow us to come film at their project. But yeah, I hope this is giving you some inspiration, some ideas, maybe introduce you to some new plants, some new ways of planting. If you have a big open space and you need some ideas, hopefully this has helped. But as always, y'all have a great day. Thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. We'll see you next time. Bye, friends.